Then after this one, you got to prepare for the main presentation. Typical is like that. We think we know so much, so we prepare a lot of materials. Number one. Number two, we make it very, very complicated. Especially if you are an engineer and if you are making some technical presentation. 99% of materials we present is way beyond what people understand. I guarantee about 50% of people did not understand about what you are talking about, even though they are not here like that. Because their mind is somewhere. They are just trying to be nice. They do not understand. So usually I ask people to check this one. Whatever you're going to say, especially technical stuff, does your high school daughter understand? If she say no, well, then it's too complicated. You better redo the whole presentation again. Right? And then some of you, typical engineers, say, oh, Steve, it's very complicated. How can be high school daughter know? I say, well, because the CEO is like high school daughter. That's all they know. I mean, your senior VP, that's all they know. They probably know the money, all the ROI, how many equipment we sell. They do not know what the heck you're talking about. Oh, it's so complicated. Oh, this one connect to this one, this connect to this one. Oh, this is like C equal to A plus B. Oh, this is transmission electron microscope TEM. They don't even know what's that. Right? So it's always the good sanity check to see if I high school daughter does she understand about what's my presentation? So that's a good check, right? Then the other one is really focus on what audience want, not what do you think they want. Remember, I would mention to you last week. Say I present to our president. He gave me 30 minutes, and he was talking about one spotter film. What I think he wanted is he wanted to know how hard we work on it, how much I understand about this whole film structure. But the turn out is he only care about, can I remove this film structure? We can save money for company. So we got to be careful. We got to understand about really what the audience want. Most of the time we think that's what they want, right? But it's not as difficult. Sometimes you will say, well, Steve, I cannot send people to ask. But if you go back to put yourself in their position, or if it's an auto presentation, right? You see a good presentation. If you go back to put into the audience position, and I think it will be much easier for prepare what you need to prepare. Okay, so think about it. Now we put this cartoon there. Don't be surprised. Lots of our presentation actually people is just like that because I'm going to share with you. By the way, you are not alone. I'm going to show my page. Okay, I'm going to show my page, and Frank, which one is the first one? Yeah, it's okay. So I teach the career development. I wrote a book, right? So I teach it. I've been doing this one for many years. So this one is 2009. Okay, and that's a real presentation. Right? So I was teaching about clear vision and goal. Because I was teaching in Taiwan, in China, Beta, and that. So I was worried about some people cannot read Chinese, maybe cannot read simplified Chinese, So I put the English and the Chinese all together like that. So actually very interesting. When I make a presentation, most of the people like you, they try to read what I was talking about. Actually, nobody listened to me because they all try to read that. Everybody all like this, the girl. I mean, she was confused because I was pretty smart. Because I was thinking, well, that's what people want to read. I said, no. Right? That's just a few years ago. I don't know, have you got a chance to see the presentation, the slide like that? I can guarantee you see a lot of slides like that. write a whole bunch of English. Actually, even our English is not very good, but which. So same topic. That's the one. Today, if I do creative development, this one issue. I don't even read. I don't. Today, if you got a chance to listen to, I think some of you listen. I don't even look at slide. Right? I just talk to all of you. Do eye contact with you. I do not, because I already know the slide what I'm talking about. And I let the audience talking about the goal and that. And I want to talking about dolphin effect and that. It's same slide, same message, but it's very different. Right? And you just look at number one, when you have slide has so many things, you basically already ask audience to read the slide. Not until, yeah, go.
But in general, I understand, talk to president, talk customer, but some of them like a technical review thing.
We are sure. Next one is a technical review. Okay. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
So this one you agree, right?
Yeah.
We can simplify. Okay. So we're talking technical. People say, okay. So we next one. By the way, this is a real story. Okay, we present the next one is we present to our president. Okay, so that's what we want to present. Is that technical enough? Oh, it's very complicated. It's ECC media is a triangle and all this one. By the way, if I want to explain to you, the reliabilities, media and the trade-off and the thermal stability. And this one even more complicated. You want to explain to you because each one is like Tony, you were talking about DB and all this. It's all here. And we even think about not enough. So that's what the original we prepared. And I thought it was very condensed already.
Well, I mean, talk to president, understand this is too much information. But sometimes talk to customers.
Even talk to VP, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, but sometimes you want cross-functional.
Oh, do you really think, if you really engineer the one, number one engineer, if they need this one, you should go over this one with them one-on-one. Number two, engineer is not the one going to pay you money anyway.
Sure.
Sorry to say that, but
sure.
You got to go, if you have audience all different, you got to determine who you want to give a message. I mean, if you don't give message to the guy make a decision, you got to know that they probably don't have a lot of technical, either they don't have interest or they are not really that smart. The high, actually, you will be surprised, the higher people, the position, the dumber they are. But again, it's not, I'm not saying you should not do this. Some engineer, if you treat customer, you need to go pay a lot of attention to engineer. Usually I would do is I would bring them to be separate meeting. But just talking about it, because some people like that. And you get all these engineers to share with them how we do it. 1 hour, 2 hours, and they appreciate that. But in the presentation, you have certain message, you cannot go, oh, let me show you, this point, this point. Okay. But so with this one, we already condensed quite a bit. Yes.
So how about in a very technical, for instance, tech force, like in our company, you have certain issues you want to, you have.
Well, it's a working meeting, no?
Yeah.
The working meeting you can discuss about. It's not even presentation. So working meeting, you were talking about detailed stuff. It's all engineer, it's okay. But today, if we're talking about presentation, typical presentation is we are way over technical. We are way over complicated. I can guarantee you, even your manager does not understand about what you're talking about. Think about your professor in the university. Do your professor really know about your dissertation? I don't think so, because my professor did not know. I mean, I was so detailed. I mean, but again, it's a. I don't want you over worry about it. So I'm just trying to make a point only to say, maybe I make a little bit exaggerate the issue, but I'm just trying to change the mindset also. Because you got to change the mindset to how the management or exactly what they think. To be honest, I don't think they care too much about. I know I'm VP. I do not care a lot of what's your technical stuff. People miss a lot of time. A lot of times I more care about what result you got, and how this result going to help a company. How can you help me to cross this line? But the guy keep talking about, oh, ECCness. I just try to say, do we got 1 dB? Oh, ECCness. I said, can I repeat it? Do we got 1 dB? Oh, Steve, I don't know, but you got my point? Because even they are technical, they are looking for something in their mind. If they are technical VP, I think they're looking for result. If they are senior VP or CEO, they're probably more looking on ROI, cost, financial, or the customer that. So sometimes we need to put it there. But anyway, the point is, let me show you how we change. Since the guy is the president, so we treat him like a dummy. So we design some media. They call ECC. ECC actually is so-called exchange coupling. I cannot even read it. Right? So we told him, hey, Dave, actually it's very easy. You don't need to worry about it. It's like a domino. If you can put some force on the top layer, they will just switch it. That's the reason we have the best media right now. Even the hair is not very good. They can switch our media. And just like that. So actually we show you like that. Let me repeat it. 刚刚that's all you remember. I mean, actually, when you went to all hand meeting, have you heard about what he said? Oh, your guys are really good. You got ECC media. He does not even know what the heck ECC media. He doesn't remember it. He said like a sprint. He said, one young said, yeah, you're right. Damn, we are so smart. I know. Now, because I talked about, hey, Dave, we got ECC4. Oh, you guys good. Because he keep remembering this one. Right? But in reality, if you think about the whole technical is really somehow like that. In order to switch in the bottom one, you use this one like a top. You switch in. And so that's how we prepare. It takes a little bit time. Certainly you don't want to be too simple. It also depends on who you're going to present to. But that's how we present. So we basically, let me show, so we show like that, then like that. And then we show some data. All this while, after we got this ECC media, we solve this problem anyway. Question? Yeah.
Good. Even our technical one, so most pictures, not much comments. Because I think comments nobody gonna read it, right?
Actually, the reason what I see is the picture is much better. Usually I ask people to make a cartoon, very simple one, because it's much easier for people to visualize. The English is very difficult. Okay, especially our English is really not as good, and the more technical complicated, the easier will be if you can go to try to. You can look at it in the CK right now. Everybody all draw like that. The loop, how this work, and so picture, again, picture usually is much better. And believe me, any kind of technical phenomena, you always can try to solve something. Any comment or? Okay. Then the presentation, the caution is, I think, early, some presentation already talking about. If you summarize, right? Then you probably, most importantly, you ask for action. Just go through this, what the message you try to deliver, and then if you ask for promotion, repeat again, right? If you ask for budget, you gotta go repeat again, right? And then that's really what the final I remember I was giving the example about this aluminum glass. So in a summary, I would say, well, so remember my wife had 2 boyfriends. So I know she got to make a choice. So I say, who you think she chose? Everybody say, oh, glass, what is potential? I say, you're right. It was me, right? my wife, yeah. Everybody, oh, good. So it was a good culture on that. Same is like, I use the Gen 1 system. It's also say, well, we all want to be, you want to do swim, like the one, like my daughter been trained, you would say your coach trained how to do this one, and they're going to be effortless, and we need to have this system for next 10, 20 years. So that's how the culture is. Okay, so I'm going to prepare you, because next week is really going to be your show. We want to ask you to make 15 minutes presentation. We take all the video. We will make sure everybody got a chance to present that, including Connie and Liz. We will make sure we set up 3 cameras so we have enough time for everybody to prepare that. So again, you're going to put a slide. You determine how many slides you want to do. Control your time. The other thing we haven't trained you is how to control the time. You know why in the last few weeks I asked you for 3 minutes? Because later on you got to learn how to control your time. And you will get a lot of chance to do this, especially the more you climb on later, the more you're going to do it. I do this all the time. For example, like, we just had barbecue, right? Fried barbecue, I got to say something. Or something, I got to say something. We have somebody in town here, I got to say something. And usually you don't even prepare. And what are you going to say about this? And how much time you have that? So you got to start to train that. So you have 15 minutes. And then you will be, again, when you prepare this one, you just like think about how you can start that. Right? And then your main body, what kind of slide you want to put together there. And then how you're going to cross that. So that's what in the preparation part. Then the other part is really how you deliver the message. Okay, I use the example, remember about how I get over the hump. The story was, remember I used to be work on the product qualification team, and we have Maureen Clark. She's our marketing or program manager. She can talk very nicely, like all this lady. And I was the one, like all these gentlemen, always think about English is not very good, and the presentation is not very good. So usually I don't dare to talk too much. And actually, I find out the other reason they like to talk to lady because most of the engineers, customers, they are men. Men not usually like to talk to ladies. So anyway, that's the other also help me to say, gosh, no wonder, it's actually not my issue. But again,
that's our problem. How to be taken seriously. We do as good work as men.
Yeah.
As engineers.
Now so that's what we need to talk about also, right? So in your presentation, so that's what the thing, what the men can learn from the women and women can learn from the men. For example, right, they take me very serious. Right? Because the way how I going to say. But anyway, I'm just trying to use this story about Maureen Clark and go back to your point. What does she worry about? She worry about look. She worry about the dress. She worry about how she's going to show in a video. Oh, gosh, when you worry about this, you cannot ask people to take you very seriously. Right? I did not worry about it. I'm more worried about substance. My English is not good. How the people can understand about what I'm talking about. Right? Because when I present that, indeed, I want people to take me very seriously. But I just feel they probably don't care because I'm just not a very good communicator. My English, I have accent on my English, and I just don't have confidence to express myself. So when we go through that, and because Maureen Clark gave me a lot of confidence because I started to see to aware of she also struggled in a different way. And then when I start to make a presentation, so you're going to make a presentation. Presentation is also an important part of how it's learning. The people ask is, do you want to stand here? Will you put your hand doing this one? Again, they try to just be comfortable, right? Comfortable in the sense is, if you present to this group, your focus is this group. So you should face them and talk to them. The only one you're going to do is, a lot of times I see the engineer, right? I hate it. They have this laser. They have laser, then they put it on, they like a lot. I mean, sometimes yeah, I mean, they can blind you, right? Sometimes like that. Well, unfortunately, nobody told them that. No, laser not good. If you think you want to do the laser, you will just point that. That's it. I don't even use the laser.
It's annoying.
Huh?
Annoying sometimes.
Oh yeah, and especially laser is like that, right? But nobody everybody was doing this all the time, right? Because they think it's so important for people to read the slide. Since you put so many stuff there, right? So you gotta go to, okay, this point, and then some of people just don't know. No, it's not. Because your customer, your audience, you should talk. Indeed, you'll be surprised. More than 50% is not how you talk. It's how you look. Indeed, whether they trust you or they don't trust you, it's not even your talk. How they feel comfortable about what you say. Alright? So that's the reason try to be, if possible, smile. Because you really, if you make presentation, you want to buy into it. You feel they can trust you, whatever you say. Yeah, and then, pretty friendly. Because you just try to connect with people. Right? Do eye contact. Because let them feel. They are important. Think about if the whole thing is, I'm just like that. Right? So you gotta go to let them feel, no, you're important. I want to talk to you. This one actually, used to be the people they're talking about. You look Obama, like Ronald Reagan. The people feel they really talk. He's the only one talk to me. Because he somehow to pay this, right? So we do the some eye contact. And again, I mentioned about the most important is be yourself. I mean, you have strength. Don't worry too much about your weakness. You focus on your strength. Everybody's strength. I mentioned about using marine craft. So after I finish presentation, what do people told me my strength? I show a lot of confidence. My voice actually volume is big enough. I did not think that was big advantage. Later I find out, indeed the volume too small. Sometimes people equate to the confidence, right? So, but in that time, sometimes I thought I was too loud, right? And just because the way how I talk, and they said, "Wow, Steve Wang, you show a lot of confidence, and you know the materials very well," which is not true because this is the way I talk, right? And then, certainly in that time they asked me to say, use a little bit more gesture. Before training, I was concerned, right? No, it's just. I think if you think about your posture like a lie, it's much better than I'm like a lie, right? And it's just okay. So they asked me to say, just give a little bit, okay, a little bit more gesture on that. Indeed, one time they even asked me to be executive a little bit. When you want to say the big, not only say big, so big. Oh, very, very small. This is, it's almost like actor and actress. But they try to say, indeed, a typical very good communicator, they used to be the actor and actress because they. And the other one is very, very important. Eye contact. So everybody feel you only talk to them. Right?
Yeah, see, can I comment? Yeah, you know, when we make presentations, one thing I felt like is that the podium, you have a lot of these stages here, a lot of podiums, right? I feel like it takes away all the eye contact, the gestures, the emphasis that you want to put. It's like, but if you have to speak at a podium, what is some things you can do to convey your message?
Well, if you look at this, right, like an old podium, right, the new building, I will not stay in the podium. If you think about CISS and Tony, even in the hotel, actually I don't want to stay in the podium. If I can come out, I will come out, or the people see me, and I will just pretend I'm trying to connect with everybody. Right? Look at Steve Russo when he went in the event center. Because a lot of time we think, okay, there's a podium, and I have to be here. Talk like that. Not necessary. Even you look at Obama, right? He was in the podium. He's still doing a lot of that. Ronald Reagan is perfect. He talked in the TV. And the people at home feel he's talking to me. Right? Really, you got to read these the people feel, oh, he's talking to me. But actually, he's talking to TV. But somehow he developed mentally. He's doing all the eye contact with everybody. And people say, wow. Right.
But sometimes just people are walking in high level, they try to intercept your presentation. What's the best way to take the pace back?
Well, this presentation, by the way, the other one is the one I told you about story. If you really present to your CEO and the CEO in a very small meeting, do not use that. You know what I mean? You do not want to keep the joke. So sometimes I want people to be careful also. If it is a small setting, right? Say, you're going to be in his office and then they ask you to make a presentation to your CEO. You don't want to go there to say, oh, let me share. No. This one we're talking about audience, right? So could be CEO is there, but it got to be pretty big. Your engineer and all this one. Because, if you're in a high level on this, if you make this, my point, the communication is very different. So this one is really just, the reason I wanted to spend a little bit time on this, so, like even we ask you to do the 15 minutes, if you practice this, go back to the point is, the public speech is one of the best ways to build self-confidence. So try to do that and then present that.